What's going on, guys? It's Super and welcome back to another Battlefield 6 video. Today's video we're going to be talking about some of the updates that EA is going to make to Battlefield 6 when it releases. A lot of the new improvements and updates that they showed in the blog are actually really good updates in what the game needs. There's a couple of things that I disagree with or I'm unsure of, but we're going to go into it and see what it's like. First things first, look at these numbers that they posted about just the beta itself. There's 420 million matches played, 92 million hours of gameplay, and just, I think it was 8 days of the beta. Almost 5 billion kills and 31 million revives. And just a crazy stat on itself, 7.5 million defibrillator kills, which is crazy. I didn't even think there would be that many. Granted, I did see a lot of clips on TikTok, but it's so fun and so cool to see the fans playing the game how it used to be, with all the little quirks like getting defibrillator kills. Not to mention, you can see the disparity of the percentage of people playing different classes. Obviously, the assault in the beta was hugely played, especially with the fact that you could use 2 primary weapons, and no doubtably, the shotguns. I mean, if you look at the post itself, it had over 300 million kills with just the shotgun alone. Of course, the recon was the least played, as honestly, you could use the sniper rifle on all the classes, so it didn't really matter and it didn't feel specific to it. And the fact there was only one good map to actually snipe on, which was Liberation Peak. A lot of the changes that they made and posted about, really good. Like, for example, the weapon changes. The M87, the shotgun. It requires more pellets to secure a kill now, which is good, because it was crazy broken. Or the movement changes, like how you can't spam jump without any penalty anymore. Similar to how CSGO does crouching, or like they said how they're toning back sliding to make it more situational, and not the best way to engage every gunfight. These small but impactful changes are exactly what Battlefield needed to remain Battlefield. There's been a lot of criticism about the game, especially from big streamers, saying what they think the game needs, like a battle royale, or battle pass, or a ranked game mode, which to most Battlefield fans is sort of a foreign concept, minus the fact that they sort of added in battle passes, which every game nowadays has one, and in Battlefield 5 they added their BR mode. That didn't really add to the game, or make it more successful. It just sort of dried out the game and just made it like every other game. And a lot of these criticisms from these streamers aren't what's going to make the game good. That's just what they want, because that's what makes them successful, not the game successful. And just, those aren't things that Battlefield needs. What Battlefield really needs is to stick to its roots, which is what it's done in the beta. That's what we saw, and that's what we're coming to expect when the game fully releases. It doesn't need these arbitrary, gimmicky things to pull in people or to keep retention of their game. It just needs to be fun, and they're trying to balance the game around having fun. It doesn't need to be this all-competitive shooter. That's not what Battlefield has ever been, and it shouldn't be. One of the issues that EA addressed in their blog post was the maps. Because all we really got to see from the beta were these small, close quarters, city maps that aren't really typical for Battlefield. But they have assured us that there will be these large, open maps that we come to expect from a Battlefield game. We got one of them, which was Liberation Peak, which, to be honest, I don't think anybody really liked that much, but it is what it is. And of course, a map everyone's wanting to play, which is Operation Firestorm, which is a crazily beloved map from everyone who's played Battlefield. And they've also said that one of their newer maps, Merak Valley, is going to be an open style map, which is great. And it's good to hear that they're not suffocating Battlefield fans to these close quarter Call of Duty like maps all the time. Not to say that the smaller maps are like Call of Duty, but you know what I mean. They also address the problem of players being able to go on rooftops or venture out of the map that weren't supposed to be able to. They said they're going to update it and to make it where it's an out of bounds area, which is good. Also, they mentioned the fact that the ladder that's coming to the assault class is also not designed to get you to these areas, just to make that clear. The biggest topic that they touched on were the game modes and the amount of players for those game modes. They sort of went over Rush in terms of how many players, or the golden era of Rush and Bad Company, to where it used to be 16v16, but in Battlefield 6, it's 12v12. They weren't particularly clear whether it's going to ultimately remain 12v12. For the time being, that's what it seems like it's going to be. But they also mentioned an example of certain maps or certain instances or game modes might be different based off of the scenario. Like how a smaller map might only have 48 players for Breakthrough, and on a bigger map it might have 64. So we might see that for Rush too, where a larger map might have 16v16 and the smaller maps may remain 12v12. We have yet to find out what the actual parameters are going to be until the game comes out. They did also mention that the Portal mode will allow you to experiment yourself with larger amounts of players on certain maps and certain game modes. So that's something we can expect from the community to make, which would be pretty cool to see. Now, for the biggest and most important thing to what I think Battlefield fans want out of this update is the fact that they're still not sure on what road they're going down. Whether they want the classes to be open for all weapons or closed for all weapons. And in my personal opinion, I would prefer it to be closed, like many Battlefield fans. But they want it to be accessible to newer fans, like from other games, to have the open concept where you can use any class and have any gun. But to most Battlefield fans, this feels like it's taking away the identity of the game. It feels like it's taking away the importance of each class. And it also feels like it's taking away from the fact that certain scenarios in-game don't require the actual important pieces that make the game, like the classes. You know, in Operation Lockers, you have a support who's only able to use an LMG and hold down a hallway. Or the fact that you had to be recon to be a sniper. A lot of these classic Battlefield nuances just aren't there, and I really hope they figure out what it is that they actually want. Now, personally, I'm open to the fact that they want to do an open weapons system. I think it would be fine. But they need to decide which one they're going to go down. But when the game comes out, and the game sort of dies down a little bit, and the player base settles, splitting up the player base into these two game modes might cause some problems. I know this might sound like copium, considering this is EA, and I hope they realize they don't need these flashy, brain rot, psychologically engineered things in the game to make people play it. People don't want to play a game that feels like a chore. People want to play a game that is cool, fun, and immersive, like how Battlefield and other games used to be. Nobody wants to have daily logins where in day 1 you get a free skin, and day 2 where you get 50 free tokens to use in our shop. People want to be able to play and get on the game whenever they want and have fun. And that's when people spend money, so they can invest in more fun. Because Battlefield is more than just a game where you shoot people. It has so many dynamics to it. Nobody wants to see it just be another project where people are being milked every dime for some silly cosmetic. I'm happy to see that EA and DICE are taking feedback from the community, and not just big streamers or big YouTubers, and putting their bold ideas, to put it lightly. We want what Battlefield fans want. Not what every other game wants, just so they can say, oh, we have this game to play now too. We don't want other people coming in and ruining what Battlefield fans want. But we also want the game to grow and be successful, so you need to have these dynamics from other games. And we understand that. But that doesn't mean to change the whole concept, or to change the formula that's made Battlefield successful. For the most part, the changes that EA and DICE are making are a step in the right direction. This might be wishful thinking, but I kind of want another beta, to see the changes and give them another chance for getting more feedback about the game. It also gives them another opportunity to keep the hype alive. I'm going to leave a link in the description of the update post so you can read it all for yourself. Also, leave a comment about your thoughts on these changes, if you like them or you don't, or maybe you agree with the COD streamers that Battlefield needs a ranked mode, or the game must have a BR. Either way, I'd like to know what you guys think. And as always, thanks for watching.